Like most people, some of these therapy dogs naturally gravitate to certain demographics and are better at helping different types of people than others.
There are some dogs that are naturally good with children. Children are generally have more energy than our elderly residents. So there are some dogs that tolerate that level of noise or just hyperactiveness or just the higher energy level. And you want the dog to be calm under those circumstances. And some dogs we see are naturally more inclined to be with children. And so in spite of all that noise and activity going on around them, they're still calm and they're still attuned to their owner. So when the owner or handler gives a command, then the dog is still amenable to listening to that command. And they don't get freaked out by all the noise from the children. There are other dogs who don't tolerate that very well. And it's not necessarily a breed as much as an individual thing in my experience. So there are some dogs that do very well with hospice patients. Some dogs that unfortunately don't want to be around the elderly. And we've noticed in my experience maybe there have been 3 dogs that were that, in which case much as the owner wanted to volunteer with the elderly, she couldn't. But we were able to place them with children, and the dog was fine with children. So it's something you learn. So it seems to be more an individual dog since they gravitate more towards one demographic.
He likes the nursing home setting very much. I think a lot of it has to do with the heat. He doesn't like the heat too much, so when it gets really, the sun, if he's in some place where there's sun, it just shoots right into his coat, he gets really hot. So we really try and stay in the air conditioning.
At Share a Pet, potential therapy dogs must pass a 12-point test and undergo training before they can be certified as therapy dogs.
For people with dogs, I would certainly recommend them going through some obedience training. They can either go through trainers in their area and have them trained as therapy dogs, or just go to our website and look up, there are 12 items on our test, and they can train the dogs at home. Practice makes perfect. Practice with your neighbors, your family, your friends, and get your dog ready. And if there is an outfit in your area that provides a therapy dog certification, then I would say go for it. And if it's a person without a dog that still want to be involved, but they want to tag along with the pet therapy team, then they can certainly contact the organization. We are in upstate New York, San Francisco, and South Florida, so if they're here, they can contact Share a Pet, and we'd be happy to set them up to go on visits with us. If they want to volunteer, they can do that. If they want to support the organization, nonprofits rely on donations to a huge degree, so they can certainly write a check and send it in the mail to Share a Pet or to one of the organizations that they personally know of and like and support. But I know every nonprofit would be very grateful for that donation.
Any dog or animal has the potential to be healers and therapy dogs. Some are just more natural than others.
Dogs can be trained. Basically, a dog's nature is to love. So it's really up to us to be consistent. That is absolutely key. So we have to be disciplined enough to be consistent with our dogs, which means they associate a certain command with a certain reaction we want from them. And the reason we test the dogs is when we walk into a facility, it's a strange facility. We don't control the environment. So we want to make sure that our dogs know how to respond. For instance, if one of the elderly residents spilled a bottle of pills or hormones or something, we don't want our dogs to swallow those pills. And so if we say leave it or no, you want your dog to leave that alone and not scarf it down. So that's why we want to make sure. But all dogs can be trained. It's the humans that can be difficult.
Asked if she was proud of what Bernie has been able to do, Joan says,
My children think I like him better than them, and sometimes I say I do. No, he is I've had dogs all my life, and I love them all, but I've never had one quite this special. He is a really super dog.
For Bernie, who has been doing this for quite some time, he gets a special treat for all of his hard work.
He is a McDonald's fan. His very favorite place is, do you want to go to McDonald's? Oh, yes. If you drive by McDonald's, he does this and watches till the golden arches go out, and he usually gets a McDouble after work. It's his favorite. Plain, no ketchup, no mustard, no onions, no pickle.
And if there's one thing that can be said about the people at Share a Pet, it is this.
The collective spirit of the organization, and by that I mean not just the founder and the staff and the board members, but also all of our volunteers. That collective spirit is one of deep love, and I have seen that. There's so much love to give that they choose this avenue to express that love. They join the organization because they want to make somebody feel good. You know, people who are in hospitals who are sick or dying, people who are in hospice, or people who are lonely and sad or in nursing homes. Our volunteers want to make these individuals feel good about themselves. So I've found that the collective spirit of our organization is one of just this deep, deep love. And it is amazing to be a part of that. And it feels nice. And the more people join with that spirit, the bigger it gets, which is really nice.
For every joy, there is the occasional sadness and heartbreak, since the people they do help are oftentimes ill or at the end of life stage. It is this part that Joan hates the most.
I do lose people that we love. Yeah, we do. We lost a little girl a couple weeks ago that was just a killer. We've known her for such a long time. Anyway, enough of that.
For these volunteers, being part of something bigger than themselves is rewarding beyond measure.
I really think, I know what I feel when I go with my husband and our dog. And it's more than joy, it's a sense of purpose. And I think deep down, I think we all want to feel that we are making a difference. So I think for those of us who want to help our community, you definitely get that feeling that yes, I am making a difference, and my dog is also.
Therapy work is so rewarding. I talk to people all the time. People ask me about it, the dog park, a lot of people that have joined Share a Pet are people that I met when I was visiting their family or their parents or their cousin or whatever, and they say, boy, they really love it when the dog comes in. I say, do you have a dog? Maybe you'd like to get interested in it. It really is such a rewarding thing to do. I get so much more out of it as far as meeting people and seeing the happiness. It's such a simple thing to do. It's an hour a week. It's nothing. I mean, it's really nothing in the scheme of things, and it is such a people tell me wonderful things about my mother said this or this one or that. I meet people afterwards and they say, oh, that's Bernie. And I think, I don't know these people. And Bernie, they'll say, oh, my mother has pictures of Bernie in her room, and we remember when Bernie used to come visit her. He knows a lot of people. He has made a lot of tracks around town.
One thing that Mai has learned through her time with Share a Pet is that everyone loves to be loved.
I'll tell you what my husband has learned. He said when he first started volunteering, he was pumped up thinking, I'm going to go in and make a difference. I'm going to give them so much love that they're going to feel good about everything. And he realized that more than being starved for love, to receive love, our elderly residents were actually starved to give love, because they're at the demographic when they should be surrounded by grandchildren, and they're freely expressing this love that they have. And he realized that what our volunteers and dogs do for our residents is to give them that opportunity to express that love freely and openly, and to give all this love that they have stored up inside. So I think that has been something he's seen with his volunteering experience. And For me, my biggest lesson is I wish there was some, people sweat the small stuff or get caught up in pettiness or who said what and emotions. But if we focus on how we can make someone feel better, there are so many people around us who maybe, if I were to think of me, who maybe relies on me to make them feel good, or someone in this nursing home. When I walk in the door with or without my dog, I can volunteer even without my dog. Our organization is a therapy dog organization, so all of us volunteer with our dogs. But my dog and I can walk in the door and actually make someone feel good about themselves. This is the last phase of their life, of our elderly residents. And if we can somehow enhance their quality of life, then I think that is a wonderful service we're offering to them. And we step outside of our life, for something bigger to do for somebody else. That would be worth it.